Hello, Nope Coach Fam Bam. It's Suzanne Culberg. Welcome to episode 134 of the Nope Coach podcast. A tool in the shed does nothing. I'm going to start today with a gardening analogy, which always amuses me because I have a black thumb. What is the color of the thumb that kills everything? And my sister, who has the most avid green thumb I know, who listens to the show sometimes, will be highly amused if she tunes into this one. At the time of recording this, it is just turned to springtime in Australia, and I was outside this morning in the yard, and I was like, once again, the lawn needs mowing. We're at the time of the year where the weather's a bit warmer and the grass has started growing again, and I can't stand mowing or gardening. I enjoy a yard that has been mowed and weeded and taken care of, but I don't enjoy the tending part myself. And as I was looking around the yard, I just sighed to myself and I thought, oh, if only I had a more efficient lawnmower. Like, what a weird thought to have. But it was like, I was just thinking if I had a better lawnmower. And then I was like, so if you had a better lawnmower, you wouldn't need to mow as often? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And the reason this analogy was really pertinent is I work in personal development, I work in transformation, and a lot of us, we go from book to book to book, course to course to course, podcast to podcast to podcast, like looking for the person who has all the answers, looking for the person who knows the information. Yet it doesn't matter what information you have if you're not taking any action on it. Hence the name of the episode, A Tool in the Shed does nothing. So I'll give you an example from my own work. I run a program called Why Wait, and it has three main components to the program. Modules, which is the lessons, the teaching. Coaching, where it's a group coaching and people can come along and ask their questions and get coached. And journaling or co-working, which is the doing time. I typically have about 20 people in a cohort of Why Wait. And on any given time that I run a module, like a teaching or a training, the attendance is the highest. Probably 16 of the 20 people will attend that live. And then the group coaching, so where they can ask questions and get coached, has about 8 of the 20 people attend live. And then the journaling or the co-working would be lucky to have 2. Now, yes, part of that is time zones and, have a global audience. But even when I move it around to allow for different time zones, the doing sessions, the get it done, the journaling, the co-working always has the lowest attendance. And I'm not saying this, like if you're listening to this and you're a past Why Waiter, it's not to name or shame or make feel bad. Like, I realize I do this too. Very few of us actually want to do the doing the same way I don't want to mow my lawn. I enjoying a lawn that has been mowed, but I don't want to take the action. But a lot of us are keen to turn up for the learning. And it's interesting in the promoting this round of Why Wait, I've done a few different things. I've done some get coach sessions, which have had lowest attendance, and I've done like the Rage page, which is a journaling thing, very, very low attendance. Yet if I run a class, I get high attendance. And this thirst for knowing, for knowledge, for understanding, it's universal. I think it's a human condition thing. We're always looking for the magic beans or the next thing or the person who has the answer. But then the actual taking of that information and actioning it, I do it later. And I'm very much the same. I teach journaling a lot, and I teach what I most need to learn because I can learn it. I don't like to do it. I don't like to sit down and unpack the weirdness that is my brain and to see it on the page where I can't escape from it. And so often when we are having times where we're wanting to make changes, most of us, if not all of us, we know what to do, but we just don't do it. So we're looking for the next way that it can be packaged up or shown in a different way or given a different label so that we can think that we're spending time learning when really we're bypassing taking action by adding in more information. So, next time I invite you to think about something like, if whether it's wanting to get fit, how many of you can let me know in the comments, have a treadmill that's a more expensive clothes horse, or a rower that's gathering dust, or a stairmaster that you've never even gotten on, or a spinning bike that you've never used. And then you tell yourself, this was me. I used to have a treadmill, and then I bought a rower, and then I bought a stairmaster, and I was like, oh, it was always the next thing. Oh, if only I had a bike. All of those tools would have done the job if I'd actually used them. But as the title of this episode goes, a tool in the shed does nothing. The same as, I don't know how many journals I have purchased over the years. I have, like, literally, before I did a declutter, I had shelves of them because I was looking for the next one that had the right prompts or the right information or laid out in a nice way, when really they all would work if I sat down and actioned them. And the same as how many podcasts or courses that I've downloaded that are gathering digital dust on my desktop because they're going unlistened, or even if listened, unactioned. And yeah, in our thirst for more, how many of us overlook the tools that we already have, or the courses that we've already bought, to make the commitment to ourselves to turn up for the get it done sessions, journaling sessions, co-working sessions, action sessions, whatever they're called, to overcome our brain's inherent perfectionism and thoughts of, I don't know enough, and to actually, risk it, to sit down and do the activity and feel like we're doing it wrong, or we're missing something, or we're dumb, or whatever the thoughts that we have, like to actually sit with those and keep taking the action. And from there, realizing that's the breakthrough. You can't get good at what you don't do. So if you're always avoiding taking action, thinking that you need a better lawnmower or a better rower or a different piece of equipment or another journal or a nicer pen or whatever, it's just catching yourself and going, I already have enough. I already have everything that I need. And to actually take the action and learn from that and risk looking foolish and risk failing and risk feeling dumb and risk not even using the equipment correctly. I remember I used to be a personal trainer, aerobics instructor way back then. I've had a lot of careers in my nearly 40 years. And some of the like pin-loaded weights machines in the gym, some of the ways people were using them, incorrectly and unsafely. And that's why it's great to go to a gym that does have staff there so that they can, correct you, gently, kindly, supportingly, because none of us inherently knows how to do these things. And to have someone, I was reading a post the other day on, I think it was on Facebook, and somebody was saying that they have anxiety about going to Subway. Like, how do I actually order a sub? Can you please let me know? And the comments that were there were so supportive, like really clearly explaining how to do it. Imagine what a world we would live in if there was more of that. Genuine support, genuine care, genuine kindness, rather than making fun of people because they don't know. We don't know. We can't expect to know how to do things until we've done them. You'll wonder how you've done it until you've done it. There's so many things in your life that you've mastered already that you don't even think about now. Tying your shoe, using a bathroom, doing buttons, doing zippers, all these things that you do effortlessly that at one stage required effort. But once you'd mastered them, you didn't even give it any other thought unless you became a parent or carer yourself and were assisting someone else. So whatever it is that you're trying to work towards now, because you don't know how to do it yet, it is effort. It does require thought and concentration and trying and failing and retrying until you've mastered it. And then you'll be on to something else. But if you never actually pick up the tool, if you just keep buying new tools or replacing them or polishing them and putting them back on the shelf, like journaling is one, as I said, it's my nemesis. But when I make myself do it, I don't like the term force, but when I sit down and do it and allow that magic to happen, on the most recent rage page that I ran, a client came who'd been working on and off with me for at least 2 years now, if not 3, and has resisted journaling every step of the way. And that was her first go of really sitting down and doing the activity. And I've never been more proud, and she was so proud. And it's just the littlest things when you give it a go. Like, you know, back to my gardening analogy, as much as I don't like mowing the lawn, after I've done it, that feeling of achievement, and it's not a hard thing. Like, not all these things need to be hard. It's not hard to pick up a pen and journal. It's not hard to turn on a mower and run it around the backyard. It's annoying. It's inconvenient. The lawn mowing aspect kind of smells. The petrol, I've got a petrol mower. But, you know, once you have done it, it's, you know, you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The same with whatever activity it is that you're doing. So on these podcasts, there's, what episode is this? 134. Many of these 134 episodes, I've given you tools, suggestions, prompts, ideas. How many of them have you actually actioned? And once again, this is never to judge or shame or guilt yourself. No lasting change comes from that place. But to really allow yourself to have a go, have a crack, try it out, fall down, get back up, try it again, and keep taking that consistent and persistent action, because so many of us are chasing a breakthrough. We're chasing a moment. We're chasing something that doesn't even exist, because transformation isn't what happens. It's not a once and done, and isn't what happens when you're motivated. Transformation comes from what you do when you can't be fucked, and you show up for yourself anyway, and you get the tools out of the shed and you give them a go, and you take the action, and you realize that it's not a once and done. You don't mow your lawn once. You don't journal once. You don't have a shower once. These are tools that you put in place. So a lot of the things that I talk about, like, is the mental gym, the workout for your mind that you do on the daily or most days, because we get a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings, a lot of stuff that clutters up and gets in the way that a lot of the time isn't even true. And when we can move through and work through that, life's a whole lot smoother. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. The upcoming round of Why Wait. So this is going out, where are we now? September 11 today. Well, at least in Australia, because I know some of you listen and you're overseas, so it releases a day earlier for you guys. Why Wait starts on the 2nd of October. We've got 3 weeks left to join. As I said earlier in this episode, the program has 3 main parts: the modules, which is the learning, the group coaching, which is where you take the learning and put it into practice, and the journaling or the co-working is where you do the doing and actually do the activities. So if you think of Why Wait as you would think of a gym, the modules is like the classes, and then the group coaching is where you actually action it. So that could be like, the machines where you're doing the pin weighted or, led through things. And then the journaling is the actions that you take on your own. So that could just be like the floor exercises and stuff. But it's such a powerful process, and the lessons that you learn you can put into place and take these daily actions so that you are able to set boundaries. You're able to say no to others and say yes to yourself. And you're able to make yourself a priority and realize that self first isn't selfish, and you can, do the things that you want to do. And sometimes going after what you want does inconvenience others a little bit, and how to navigate that. So I'd love to see you on an upcoming round. If you've got any questions, head over to my website, suzanneculberg.com. There is a big description of the program, and there's also a contact me function. So you can send me a message and I will respond to that. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.